to review. The acting was awesome.
We loved
the script
it.
was awesome.
Loved it.
Everything was awesome.
Loved
the gore
it.
was awesome.
Loved
the violence was awesome.
Loved it.
And it was funny. And
it was funny.
I'd watch it a third time. That's how much I liked it.
Well, I would watch it twice.
I'd watch it again just probably a year from now. I'll watch it. But I did like how the set looked, even though it was very simple. And I think there was a lot of good effects.
Hey, and by the way, there was one point, though.
Uh-oh.
Story time.
Story time.
It's story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick.
The fog on the background.
Yes.
In the backyard.
Yes, the fog.
The fog that was 3 inches above the grass was awesome looking.
Yeah.
That was a low-lying fog.
Yes.
And it was about 3 inches high. I mean,
it just kind of hung out on the ground.
It just hung out very low to the ground.
So was that
now,
dry
the way
ice?
That you do
That's
that,
what I was
that's
thinking.
Dry ice, yeah.
Well, because I've been to Halloween parties where they have the...
There's another way to do it. There's another way to do it. That, you know what I should bring up?
What?
There's another way to do it. You can use
on a bigger scale, probably,
tanks
right?
of yeah for really.
I knew that was coming.
Big scale.
You didn't do anything small, did you?
No, not me. Actually, that's kind of my reputation. I didn't do things small. Ring of the Musketeers. Now there is this cheesy castle in the Hollywood Hills.
Right.
It's you know, if Elvis were to build a castle, it would look exactly like this. I'm not kidding. You know, and so you got that image in your mind, okay? What we did is we filmed inside for a little bit, but then what we wanted is we wanted the backyard with the castle kind of in the background, and they have a huge sword fight that's choreographed, and the yard kind of went from one level to the other, and it had a fountain in it that kind of like spilled one level to the other, spilled down and spilled down and spilled down. And what they wanted is they wanted a gag where they were fighting completely in fog up to their knees. Okay?
Right.
And in order to do that, and that's such a huge gag. I mean, I said, well, you know, that's going to, we would need to get nitrogen tanks, 250-gallon tanks, which are the big silver ones with the ring around the top, and probably it's going to take 20 of them. So he said, fine. You know what? It's the big kahuna, the big shot. That's great. Well, go ahead, put it in your budget and do it. So even though I was doing the production design on it, you know, as usual, I get my hands involved in, you know, the effects and everything else. And so we took on the effect of you know, doing 30-inch high fog. So we have 20 tanks, and we get them all up to the highest point in the backyard. Now this was a beautifully sculpted landscaping job, you know, and it had the pond, and we had to remove the fish from the different layers of the pond, because we knew that, you know, they wouldn't be able to breathe, you know, because the fog would be right over, and of course they would all die and roll over. So we removed the fish, and we started filming, and we only filmed for one night. But it was a long night. And so from the time, I would say literally from the time that the sun went down until the sun came up, we held a fog level in the backyard of 30 inches. And that includes spilling, and it was constantly spilling over. So it went from level to level. And so we maintained that, and it took, I think that in the middle of the night, we actually called and replenished another 10 tanks of nitrogen. Okay. So, you know, you try, when you're doing effects, you try and think of everything. I mean, you just try not to be surprised. So imagine my shock and horror when 2 weeks later, the location manager comes up to me and says, "Hey, we got to have a talk. get in my car. We're going to drive across town.
Oh, boy.
So we drive, and I go, well, we're heading back to the castle. And he goes, yeah, you're going to like this. And, in that way that he said it, I knew I was not going to like this at all.
Right.
And so we go around to the backyard. And I look out there, and absolutely everything in the backyard is dead. And even the trees and every bush, you could see a line at about 30 inches up on the bushes.
Even the trees were dead.
Even the trees, everything was dead. And I mean everything. And it looked, even
brown.
Even the area down the driveway, which went out in the front of the house because it kept, the spill went down and kind of dissipated, along the really long driveway, right? So at the beginning of the driveway at 30 inches high, the bushes are dead, and then they just sort of tapered down like a little big arrow going down, and everything was dead. I could not have called that one in a million years. Right. Absolutely, it completely surprised me. And in looking back, of course, we basically froze everything in the backyard, because I'm sure that kept everything really, really cold for all night.
Right.
And
it was spilling over, like you said.
Yeah, but it is one of those things. There are things that you just can't foresee, and I probably wouldn't do it again. But then, maybe
you would.
I think the insurance came out somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000.
Wow, at that time, that's quite a bit of money.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of landscaping.
A lot of land.
It's like
it was a big piece.
It
was a big
trees.
Piece of property. Oh yeah, it was.
Wow.
They had to pull out all the trees, and the trees are the thing that really costs the money. It isn't like you have to replace things.
You have to replace adult-sized trees.
Adult-sized trees.
Not just baby trees.
And right there, and in order to get them in, I'm pretty sure they had to helicopter them over the house. Yeah, it was a bad scene. But you got good insurance.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I can.
Insurance.
Yeah, on any given house, I could blow it up to $1 million, and it wouldn't be a problem. Wow. Now, we were talking about something else.
So you might have done those people a favor if their castle was tacky. They probably got better landscaping.
Probably.
Curb appeal is very important these days.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, it is. Oh, so there was another quick little thing that I wanted to bring up. This happened to me working on The Hidden.
Ah, The Hidden. Okay.
The Hidden. On The Hidden, we had a location, which was in the middle of older part of L.A. down around south of the freeway, around Silver Lake. If you go south of the 10, there's a very commercial, it was very Latin. And they had there was a very large restaurant that was being remodeled. And basically, we took the restaurant over because we needed a restaurant that we were going to blow up.
Okay.
Right. So
sometimes we need those, right?
So basically, what we did is we reversed the restaurant, and we put a facade on the back of it.
Oh, okay.
So that we had the full building, and we could, it could look like a building, but it was just, then our facade would then be blown. Okay. So we get there, we build the facade in a shop, and then we load it all up, and I'm the production designer, and I meet the guys and all the equipment, and we would all roll in with trucks and set it up so that we could blow it up in the evening.
Right.
So we were there early in the morning, about 8 o'clock, and the location manager, I guess, didn't get the message that we needed to be there, at 8, and we had worked long. A lot of The Hidden was done at night, and so we had worked long the night before, And so he was sleeping in a little bit, and of course, being the art director or production designer, sleep is something that was entirely optional. And
Right.
so I'm there in the morning, and he isn't there to open the place up, and I had to get this whole thing set up. This was going to take a while. So we, bang on the doors and bang on the doors and bang on the doors, and then finally, somebody says, "Well, what are we going to do?" And I go, "Well, we have a contract and all the rest of that. Let me go work on it." Well, the thing is I kind of at the time was pretty good with lock picks.
Okay. Yeah.
And they were cheap blocks that they had on the thing. And so I went around and went over to the side where nobody could see me, and I picked the lock. And I was, "Oh, this door's open." And I went inside.
Jeez.
Now, there are no lights on, right? And I didn't have no idea where a light switch was. And so I start going around, and this building is boarded up. Okay? It was boarded up on the front, and we had the fake facade that we put in the back. So completely boarded up, and I'm in there, and I'm just like feeling my way around, and I'm working my way back to get to the door that we have to open, which is all the way on the other side of the building. And so I'm going through, and there's sort of construction debris everywhere and boards everywhere. So I'm tripping, and I'm making a whole hell of a lot of noise. And all of a sudden, I see a crack underneath the door. I see a light come on. And I go, "Oh," and I start to head towards that crack because I saw the light come on. And just as I get within about 5 feet of it, the door just swings open. Just swings slowly open. And there is an obviously drunk, swaying from side to side, Korean guy holding a .45.
Oh, jeez.
Silver, by the way. And I remember to this day that chrome, the glint of the chrome coming.
A 45 is not a small
yeah,
firearm
it's
either.
not, boy. It was on the semi-automatic, bro. And I'm telling you, he started, and he didn't understand English. So nothing that I said made any difference to him at all. So I put up my hands, and he slowly backed me back, and I kept just walking backwards and walking towards the exit I was trying to get to. And as I come back, and boy, he was swaying and stumbling, and I thought, "Oh my God, this guy's gonna This guy's gonna trip and kill me accidentally." I just knew it. And so he comes around, and finally I back out of the door. I open the door, and everybody, I kind of like just hit the bar with my back, and the door starts to come open, and the guys are going, "Yay, yay, yay!" And then I back out like this with my hands up, and then the gun comes out.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
So, anyway, the thing is my guys are here, and just then, the location manager drives up, and this guy is yelling. And so they get the owner of the building, who was his brother, it turns out. He was doing security for his brother, and he was sleeping there. And I was over in the corner. I had been told to sit on the ground and hold my hands up like this, up against the building, right? And a couple of cops come. And the cops come, and they arrest me, and the location manager is like, "Oh, well, this is the guy. He's on our crew, but this is the guy.
What?
So we're going to have to charge you." And the guy, and so they arrest me in front of the owner and this other guy, and I was spitting mad. I mean, I was just barely holding it together. And in me, when I'm barely holding it together, that means that I really wasn't holding it together at all. Right. I was just cursing it. And they, duck my head and put me in the back of the car. And we back out, and they drive me straight to the nearest Denny's. And I was completely confused. I was going, what the hell? What the hell is this? And they go, yeah, we sure pulled it over on you, huh?
Oh,
Come on in. We're the on-set cops for you this afternoon and tonight.
That's awesome.
So so it was all a charade for the owner, that the justice was done for me breaking and entering, and everything got done, and I got a breakfast at Denny's.
And I thought you were going to say
free.
the Korean guy was in on it, but
no. But the thing was then I thought, well, I said, well, guys, I can go back to set, right? And they go, no, you have to leave now. We're going to drive your car to this Denny's, and then you have to go away. So I went home for the rest of the day.
Wow. But you were able to work the rest of the
the rest of the show, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was Garrett Folsom's little trick on me. He was the location manager.
That's awesome.
Oh, well. Anyway.
Wow.
That
well, you were dedicated because you were willing to break in and face death to get the job done.
What are you kidding? I just had no idea I was going to be.
So you weren't a hero. You were just.
Yeah, I wasn't. At best, I was a reluctant pawn in the movie making machine.
Right.
There you go.
Was that a good movie? I don't think I saw it.
The Hidden?
Yeah.
Hidden is a great movie. Look.
I'll put it on my list. This is my list.
Just crinkle the paper. Let's both. Yeah, put it on the list. If you haven't seen The Hidden, then The Hidden should be one of the first ones of ours, of mine that we do.
Or maybe Critters too. I don't know.
So are we done? Yeah, we were done a long time ago.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Oh, let me take the headphones off for a sec. Oh, you got a glass of water?